where possible, and following a rigorous process that will last up to 2 months on average. With regards to applications by foreign nationals, the challenge of non-compliance relates to incorrect and, in some cases, fraudulent documentation being submitted. Gauteng Provincial Government with municipalities, we're working closely with the Department of Home Affairs, the South African Revenue Service, and law enforcement to ensure that foreign nationals adhere to the laws of the country, which is a non-negotiable requirement. We wish to give assurance that no foreign national who is in the country illegally will be allowed to conduct business in our province. We will continue to shut down Spaza shops and food handling facilities that are non-compliant in terms of environmental health and safety standards, as well as the legal status of the owners. As of today, 7,148 Spaza shops and food handling facilities in Gauteng have been reached by training interventions. The training of informal food traders is a requirement of Regulation 638. Thus far, 372 training interventions have been undertaken. Training interventions are yet to be implemented in the city of Mogale. On the 20th of December 2024, the Department of Small Business Development resolved to craft a number of targeted action plans that will be implemented to ensure that provincial governments will receive necessary support in facilitating the registration of Spaza shops and food handling facilities. Chief amongst these was the plan on how to support registration centers and the joint inspection initiatives across all provinces. Since then, a reporting template has been developed and approved, and various coordination meetings have been held between provincial and district coordinators to outline the project plan. Additionally, the onboarding of municipalities on the DSBD Connect has been ongoing. The process of the geo-mapping of Spaza shops and food handling facilities at district level across all provinces is ongoing. This has been done with the use of geo-mapping tools that are providing spatially referencing data for data collection and analysis purposes. The department has aided the Gauteng province with the placement of trained business regulation officers who are providing services to our municipalities, including onboarding them on the DSBD Connect. The Gauteng provincial government has noted that some Spaza shops and food handling facilities are continuing to operate after having been shut down. Inspections and investigations are continuous, and where cases of this nature are discovered or reported, the Gauteng provincial government will continue to enforce the rule of law and ensure that these facilities are shut down. In cases where continuous disregard for the law persists, recourse will be sought in terms of the criminal prosecution of those involved. Ultimately, we seek to ensure that the horrors of the last year, where our children were hospitalized and killed as a result of non-compliance on the part of Spaza shops and food handling facilities, are never repeated. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Colleagues, I hope the statement was loud and clear. There might be no questions. If someone's got questions, please, we are free to ask. Please introduce yourself and the entity you represent.
My name is Mec Lebogang Maile from ENCA, and my question is regarding the Spaza shops that are facing the risk of demolition due to, the zoning provisions, violating the zoning provisions. Do we have an indication of which areas in Gauteng are mostly affected by this, and perhaps how many Spaza shops could run the risk of being demolished?
We don't have the numbers and where, and this does not only apply to the Spaza shops. It also applies to some informal settlements where you find that there is a servitude, there's water infrastructure, electricity infrastructure, and there's illegal structures being there. So municipalities will be acting because they have no choice, otherwise it will affect service delivery. And that's why we're emphasizing this point that in those instances there has to be a decisive action on the part of the municipalities. But I must also state that it is all over. It's not just in one place. As the municipalities are continuing to make an assessment, they discover them. And as they discover, they deal with issues on a case-by-case basis.
Okay.
I just want to know what is going to happen to the street vendors that are selling the schools that were stopped last year. Are they going to continue selling this year?
Yes, the street vendors who are selling in schools will continue to sell, but there will be strict guidelines issued by the Department of Education. In fact, I thought by now the head of department would have done that. Remember, they were stopped because things were going out of control. So once the Department of Education is ready, it will make those regulations public, and it will also engage with them. But the Gauteng provincial government is committed to supporting small businesses. We understand the impact of that economic activity for a lot of vendors in the schools.
In the past, just before the extension in December, there was an outcry from Spaza shops and small businesses complaining that it was hard to meet some of the requirements in terms of registering and being compliant. How has the department, and how has government met those challenges to ensure that this process goes smooth? And in your statement, you're saying that there were Spaza shops that were shut down because of non-compliance and they were found to be operating again. What can you explain the process as to what happens when they are closed down and why they are still able to then open up and run the business again?
No, thank you very much. It is true that in certain instances, Spaza shop owners have complained that it's hard, but not only hard, sometimes it's expensive because they must pay certain fees for them to be registered. And we have encouraged municipalities to deal with the issue on a case-by-case basis because the Spaza shops are not the same. The owners, I mean, are not the same. There are those who are just starting and there are those who have been operating and making money. But sometimes some of the business owners avoid registering because they see that as an extra burden on them, but also they see it as a disadvantage that will make them to pay more in taxes and in rates in the municipalities. And our approach is to engage with them and show them the advantages of accessing some of the opportunities that are there, especially when you are registered. You can take COEDA, for instance, if someone gets injured whilst at work. And if you're paying for COEDA as a Spaza shop owner, it means you are protected and even your employees are protected. And there are many, you take the skills levy, for instance. You are able to access money for continuous training and to also... So there are a lot of advantages for the Spaza shop and all business owners in the townships to register. I think we just need to have a continuous information sharing and teaching them that it's actually good to register, and it will also help your business. And it also helps us as government when we plan to know who is trading and where they're trading and what are they selling. Well, if a Spaza shop is closed, remember the law enforcement officers goes there and they find that they don't qualify to operate for whatever reason, because there's also inspectors that comes from the municipalities and from the provincial Department of Health. And if they satisfy themselves that you don't qualify to operate, they obviously close you down. But what happens after a day or two, some of the owners open without following processes. Remember, when you are closed, you can still reopen, but if you meet certain requirements that have been imposed by the laws and by the inspectors. So that's why we want to urge members of the public to be on the alert, to cooperate with law enforcement agencies, and to also bring to our attention possible acts of illegality in the different areas of our province.
Last round. In the absence of further questions, thank you very much for coming. We appreciate. Those who want one-on-one, they can indicate so that we arrange. Okay, go to. Yeah, you can sit up. Okay.
Here or outside? Okay. Yeah, muscle center, the electronic.